Start with something ridiculously obvious. You're at a party or a coffee shop, doesn't matter. You want to say something, but your brain freezes. Should you comment on their shoes? Should you ask what they're reading? Should you open with a joke about existential dread and the futility of small talk? No. Start with something ridiculously obvious. As in, long line, huh? Wow, it's really cold today. This music is loud. Is this place always this crowded? That printer's still broken, right? Yes, you sound like Captain Obvious. That's exactly the point. Because the goal here isn't to impress, it's to break the silence barrier with zero social risk. Obvious statements are low effort, low pressure, micro openers. They don't require a clever punchline. They just invite a response, a nod, a smirk, a right? That leads somewhere better. It works because 1. You're acknowledging shared reality. It creates instant connection. 2. You're not intruding. You're observing. 3. And if it flops, you weren't trying to be cool anyway. No ego, no problem. Ask questions with a personal escape hatch. Talking to strangers can feel like defusing a bomb with sweaty hands. One wrong word and boom, awkward silence, weird vibes, or worse, you're stuck in a conversation about their gluten-free pet iguana. Here's the cheat code. Ask questions that include a little piece of yourself, so you have an escape hatch if it flops. For example, you say, "So, do you like hiking?" They say no. Now what? You're trapped in the forest of conversational dead ends. Instead, you say, "I've been trying to get into hiking lately. Got any trail wrecks, or is that not your thing?" They say yes, boom, connection. They say no, cool. You already gave yourself an exit ramp. This technique works because 1. It sounds natural, not like you're interrogating them. 2. It gives them an easy way to relate even if they don't share your interest. 3. And if it doesn't land, you can pivot without looking weird or desperate. Embrace awkwardness before it owns you. Awkwardness isn't the enemy. Pretending it's not happening is. The moment you try to act like you're cool, smooth, and totally in control while your brain is screaming, "What do I do with my hands?" you've already lost the social boss fight. That's why this cheat code works like a charm. Call out the awkward before it calls you out. You spill your coffee mid-conversation? Great, now I've marked my territory. Classic me. You forgot their name 2 seconds after they said it? I'm amazing with faces and awful with names. Help me out before I call you dude for the next 30 minutes. You tripped walking over? I like to test gravity at least once a day. By owning the awkward moment, you flip the script. Instead of being the person everyone's cringing at, you become the one everyone's laughing with. The echo trick. Here's how it works. When someone says something, you repeat the last 1 to 3 keywords they just said as a question. That's it. It sounds dumb. It works terrifyingly well. For instance, they say, "Yeah, I've just been exhausted lately with work." You reply, "Exhausted with work?" Boom. They'll keep talking. You just unlocked level 2 of the conversation without doing any emotional heavy lifting. It works because humans are narcissistic by design. We love hearing our own thoughts mirrored back. It makes us feel heard, understood, and interesting. The echo trick builds instant rapport, shows you're actively listening, buys you time to think, and keeps them doing most of the talking. It's used by FBI negotiators, therapists, bartenders, basically anyone who needs to keep someone talking without saying much. Compliment without objectifying. Compliment something they chose, not something they're born with. Don't start with, "You're hot, nice body, your eyes are amazing." That's generic, surface level, and almost always makes people feel like a character in your fantasy rather than a person in the conversation. Instead, go with, "That jacket is sick. Where'd you get it? I love how you matched your shoes with your earrings. That book you're reading? Solid choice. Loved it." You're noticing effort, taste, or expression, things that actually reflect the person's identity. You're complimenting their mind, not just their body parts. It also starts a conversation instead of ending it with awkward silence. Even if you're flirting, the difference is subtle but powerful. "You look amazing" equals comment. "That color looks incredible on you. Great pick" equals personal, thoughtful, non-thirsty. Use the gift before ask rule. Before you ask someone anything, for directions, their name, their number, their time, their opinion on your weird startup idea, you offer something first. Not a literal gift unless you're Santa. We're talking a social gift, a compliment, a laugh, a useful piece of information, a tiny moment of value. Think of it like this. You don't walk up to a stranger and say, "Hey, what do you do for work?" You do walk up and say, "You've got a seriously calming energy. Do you work in therapy, or are you just this balanced naturally?" This is what gave something first. Attention, appreciation, and a little ego boost before asking for access. Humans are wired for reciprocity. Give someone a positive micro experience and they're 10x more likely to give you their time, trust, or TikTok handle. Play characters in your head. Don't show up as you. Show up as a character you play in your head. Seriously, when you talk to strangers, you don't have to bring your full, anxious, overthinking self to the party. Instead, channel a version of you that isn't terrified of human interaction. Maybe it's charming salesperson you who's good with small talk and oddly persuasive. Cool bartender you, who's chill, witty, and always one step ahead. Ridiculously confident movie extra you, who has no backstory but somehow steals every scene. You're not faking, it's mental cosplay. You're just picking a version of you that thrives under pressure. Why it works? It creates psychological distance between you and your social anxiety. It lets you experiment with confidence like a game, not a life or death situation. And it turns what if I mess up into, well, that character messed up, not me. Even professional actors do this in real life, so can you. Use high-low anchors. Here's how it works. You start with something light and trivial, the high. Then anchor into something a little deeper or more personal, the low. That emotional gear shift makes people feel like they're in a real conversation, not just waiting for their coffee. Let's see an example. This playlist is all over the place. Taylor Swift, Mozart, and anime soundtracks? High. Observation. Easy laugh. Do you usually listen to music based on mood or memory? Low. Personal connection. You just tricked someone's brain into feeling like they've known you longer than they have. Silence is not a sin. That awkward 2.5 second pause where no one speaks and your brain suddenly starts screaming. Say something, anything. Tell them about the time you cried during a toothpaste commercial. Just fill the space. In fact, it's normal, powerful, and often necessary. Most people treat silence like a virus, as if one quiet second means the conversation is dying. But silence isn't a death sentence. It's a buffer, a breathing space. It gives both people time to think, process, or just sip coffee without looking like they're buffering. In reality, the people who are most comfortable with silence are usually the ones who seem confident, calm, and not trying too hard. You don't need to tap dance through every gap in the convo. Let the silence hang. Own it. Let them be the one to speak next. That's the social power move. And if the silence feels weird, you can even say, that was a dramatic pause. I liked it. Or, I swear I had something brilliant to say, but I think it got scared and ran. The secret stranger buffer trick. Talking to a stranger is scary, but talking to a stranger while technically not talking to them, that's the cheat code. The social buffer trick is the social hack where you start talking to the environment, not the person. It works like this. You're in line, it's quiet, you want to say something to the person next to you, but initiating feels forced. So instead, you comment out loud to no one in particular, wow, this line's moving like it's paid by the hour. You don't even look at them. You just lob the sentence into the air like a tennis ball and wait. If they don't want to engage, no harm, no awkwardness. You were just talking to the universe. But if they do, you've now got a buffered bridge into conversation, right? I was thinking the exact same thing. And now you're talking effortlessly. It's like throwing bait into the water, not at the fish. It works because it's low pressure for both sides and it gives the other person control. They can opt in or out. So next time you want to break the silence, don't aim for the person, aim for the weather,